What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Dimitri here. Thank you for tuning in. So today I will be sharing with you guys some of the perfumes that I'm planning to add to my collection. Now I have a little box where I basically keep the samples of those particular scents that I fell in love with. Now for the last couple of years I've been basically buying hundreds, even thousands of samples from every imaginable brand. Obviously I couldn't try everything out there because there's just so much, but I've had my fair share of trials, and within those thousands of perfumes that I've actually tested, only 35 to 40 actually managed to make it into this box, and I will be basically purchasing almost all of these. Some of these are still in a trial, let's call it that way, but basically obviously I'm not going to go through all of them. I will be giving you maybe 10, 11 short reviews about certain scents that really hit my spots when it comes to the sort of stuff that I love. Now, maybe some of these perfumes will not be for you. Some of these will actually put off 99% of the world's population. They're just really animalic and bold and very, very dirty. But we're gonna get to into the details later. Now you must know that if you expect to find perfumes in this list that include scents such as Acqua di Gio and Paco Rabanne 1 million and Bleu de Chanel, etc., then this is not the video for you. I have had my period with those type of scents when I was in high school. Basically, I was a clueless kid who was a bit insecure, and my way of buying perfumes was basically to go to my girlfriends at that time and ask them what perfume they liked to smell on a man. So the first one said Acqua di Gio. I remember that perfectly when I was 16. Then the next one said Paco Rabanne 1 million. Then the next one said Dolce & Gabbana the one, and then of course the next one said Chanel Bleu de Chanel. So obviously those scents are good, but I am totally through with them. Most of them actually. The only one that I bought again was the one by Dolce & Gabbana. I finished the whole bottle in a matter of months, and then I never bought the bottle again. So that's not what this video is all about. This is not about the perfumes that are meant to be panty droppers or compliment getters. I hate both of those terms. It is ridiculous to think that a scent will make women drool all over you and make them drop their panties. That is ridiculous, guys. If you want to drive a woman crazy, just ignore her, alright? That's the only way to drive them crazy. It won't be your perfume that will actually make them go nuts, but that's just another discussion for another day. What I have here is what I consider basically jewels of modern perfumery. Some of these scents are pretty much masterpieces. Actually, to me, they're all masterpieces. Maybe not to you, but we all have different opinions. We all know how that is. So let's cut the story short and get to the testing. So the way I'm gonna do this is just randomly pick a perfume and then tell you what's up. Now this is one that pops out the most in my little drawer. It has one of the most wonderful colors that you'll ever find in modern perfumery. Guys, check this out. This is none other than Dusita's Oudh Infini. Now boys, this is not for the little kids. This is a roaring beast. This is for all the bold people that do not mind smelling like a monster, like a wild tiger. Honestly, this is probably the best perfume that combines the notes of oud, rose, and civet. Obviously, it has a lot of other notes surrounding it and giving it some depth, but those are the three main players. And upon applying this perfume, I'm actually wearing it right now. It's guys, this is not for everybody. This is probably something that only 99%, only 1%, excuse me, of the human population would be able to bear with. This is honestly the most raw, animalic, captivating and dirty perfume in existence nowadays. It will open up. Actually, I'm just gonna wear some more because I love this stuff so much. It's insane. It will open up with a monstrous accord of oud, palau, that with that skankiness of the civet and a very high quality musk. Guys, this uses some of the best materials out there. The price is humongous, but for once you're actually getting what you're paying for. So once this thing settles down and you get into the heart, you will be blown away by the quality of that accord made by the Rose de Mai, which is the rose of May, rose that only grows in Grasse in France in the month of May, hence the name, which has that greenish, lovely, slightly stemmy feeling that is basically accompanied by a lovely oud accord from the Oudh Palau from Laos. And you also will have some vanilla, some benzoin, all little players that basically give it a bit of roundness. But honestly, this is all about that rose, that oud, and that civet. Picture yourself basically going horseback riding in your, on your horse. You're going around your ranch and you have cows and goats and like donkeys and manure. And basically this is what encapsulates this scent, especially at the beginning. This is like smelling a zoo. It's a mesmerizing experience. I love this so much, but most of you won't, of course. But this is like the crowning jewel. To me, it's the crowning jewel of Dusita's collection. And she made some very high quality scents. Trust me, I already own one. I'm planning to add this next as soon as my finances allow it, because this is a disgustingly expensive perfume. Okay, so let's wrap things up. I will talk to you next about one of those perfumes that this is just as mind-blowing as Oudh Infini, but from now on the level of skankiness will drastically go down. This is like the skankiness #1 skanky perfume in my future collection. That being said, the next perfume is none other than MAAI by the house of Bogue. Now, MAAI means never in Italian, and Bogue is probably the best niche brand nowadays in Italy. It is owned by Antonio Gardoni, who is the perfumer. He's a self-taught perfumer, and actually he's not even really a trained perfumer. He's just a normal architect that has a hobby, which is collecting fine ingredients and blending them to perfection. And his Mem, which is another scent that I'm planning to add to my collection, right here, is considered a masterpiece by Luca Turin. I've made a full review about this masterpiece, and go check it out if you wish. But right now we're talking about MAAI, which is another one that I want to add to my collection. Of course, this will be even more powerful and bold than Mem. Now, whereas Mem is an extremely unique type of fougère, MAAI is just as unique, but it has a Chypre DNA. Now, if you go check out the notes on Fragrantica, they're completely wrong. What this has is a very beautiful natural base of oak moss. It has a few animalic notes that are synthetic, so will not be as skanky as Oudh Infini. It has civet and castoreum. The heart is basically comprised of 3 flowers, rose, jasmine, and ylang ylang, I believe. And of course, the top note will be a lovely citrus with a beautiful aldehyde to wrap things up. If I could sum this up, basically picture yourself jumping off a plane without a parachute while listening to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony on your iPod, and it's just a matter of seconds before you hit the ground full force. And this is pretty much the sensation that I get when I get slapped by this beautiful perfume. I'm pretty much done with it, so I'm just keeping this whenever I need a hit. I would go like this, and this is so powerful that it will just be enough. I love this stuff. Huge masterpiece, huge accomplishment. This perfume has basically been aged in juniper barrels in Antonio Gardoni's laboratory. As I said, he is a genius. He makes everything in his own laboratory. He collects ingredients from all corners of the world. He dissects everything in his laboratory. He basically does all of his stuff in-house. So check this perfume out. It is insane, really high quality stuff, very powerful, very bold, majestic, royal, regal. Beautiful stuff. Alright, following up, we're gonna pick another incredible masterpiece. This one is from the house of Bortnikoff, which you might already know. It's called Musc Khabib. Now, Khabib, this perfume was basically an homage to a very famous fighter named Khabib Nurmagomedov. He is the world champion in the UFC championship. He's from Dagestan. Probably you know it. You must know him because he is really one of a kind. He never lost a fight. But I actually really picture a person like Khabib Nurmagomedov wearing such a bold and beastly scent. This is something that you will not understand at the beginning. The first time you try this, it might be a bit off-putting simply because it uses a very natural deer musk. So it is such a rarity in perfumery nowadays because of IFRA regulations. This house is a brand that was born in Thailand, and over there they can do whatever they want. They can use whatever ingredient they want. And Dmitry Bortnikoff was actually born as an oud distiller, so he's not even a trained perfumer, but he's really managing to put out some quality scents. Some perfumes that he created, you can tell that they're off, they're not very well balanced, that they don't have the proper structure that, say, a French perfumer could actually give. But others are really wonderful. This is, to me, his crowning jewel, his masterpiece. If you like, Musc Khabib, underrated, wonderful. It's highly addictive. If you spray this on your arm or whatever, you're gonna look crazy simply because you're gonna get your arm next to your nose every 10 seconds wondering what the hell is going on. You're gonna be processing a lot of things because it takes some time before you fully grasp the grandiosity of this scent, guys. Masterpiece, by all means, by the house of Bortnikoff. Wonderful stuff so far. I can't wait to have all of these bottles. Now, another great perfume, guys. This one is from a house called Puredistance, which focuses on extrait de parfum, and it's basically a house that comes from Holland. This one is called M. Simply put, it's just M. And it was created by Ravageur. Now, Ravageur, we all know his brand, his excessively expensive brand, and as you can expect, also this brand, since they use very high quality perfumers and they spent a lot of money on marketing and they spend a lot of money on high quality materials, it's going to be mind-blowingly expensive. So obviously it's going to take some time for me to actually be able to get a bottle of this, but whatever. It is wonderful, guys. This is a very handsome, woody, citrusy scent with a slight touch of leather, very smoothly created, extremely pleasant, very high quality stuff. It will last all day. This has a concentration of oils that is around 30%. It's a specialty in this house that, as I said, only does extrait de parfums with oil concentrations that go between 27% to 35%. So that would be pretty much 1/3 of the full volume of liquid. So the color is wonderful. As you can see, it's a lovely ambery greenish color, so very high quality stuff. A lovely masculine scent, guys. Give it a try. Fantastic stuff. This is really, really good. I was actually wearing this yesterday. Fantastic. M by Puredistance. Now, what's next? This one is called Anubis, guys. This is a mesmerizing perfume. It's one of my favorite. Of course, if it's in this box, it has to be one of my favorite. It's a masterpiece in my book. It's by the house of Papillon. So it's a very underrated house that does very high quality scents. The perfumer is Liz Moore, and I believe she's the owner as well. She's a self-taught perfumer. They're pretty much taking over, guys. A lot of these scents are from self-taught perfumers that really see things from another perspective. So they don't have that typical training that normal perfumer from whatever school out there has. This is like some visionary stuff. So Anubis is basically one of those perfumes that will transport you in a faraway land. Whenever I wear this, I basically see myself back when I was 14 years old. I spent a couple of weeks in Egypt seeing all of Cairo. I saw a lot of wonderful cities. I saw the pyramids, and sometimes I went below in the tombs of the pharaohs, and I actually picture myself in one of those tombs surrounded by incense and resins. And this is basically a very dry, resinous, slightly sweet perfume that has a beautiful sweat accord that basically ties things together. It's one of a kind, guys. This has nothing to do with the thousands of leather scents that have been created. This is not Tuscan leather, which is a great scent, and I'm planning on buying it as well. But it has nothing to do with that, nothing to do with Godolphin, nothing to do with Kurkdjian, Cuir de Russie, and all those smooth leathers. This is just suede, a wonderful, slightly sweet, herbal, incensey, resinous suede. You really need to try it in order to grasp the beauty of this thing. Put your nose on this, get a sample. Do not blind buy any of these perfumes. Please just don't sample them, especially Oudh Infini, which is the last thing on earth that you should blind buy. But by now you should know that blind buys are not the smartest thing. Next, I have a perfume that is a lot easier to love and a lot smoother. Maybe you might know this one already. This is an amber-based perfume and the kings of all ambers. No, it's not L'air du désert marocain. This is from the house of Maitre Parfumeur à Gantier, Ambre Precieux, which means precious amber. Now this is a very straightforward perfume. It's just an Arabic style amber vanillic perfume, and now you must know that amber is an accord created by resins and vanilla. You cannot have an amber perfume without vanilla or resins, and this one is pretty much the most comforting, smoothest, most beautiful amber-based perfume out there. Nothing even comes close to this. It has been out for 30 years. My sample is gone, unfortunately, but I'm planning on getting one of the small bottles that they sell on their websites, those 30 ml bottles. Guys, this is the kind of perfume that I wear when I go to sleep and I want to feel like very comfortable, when I want to be surrounded by a bubble of luxurious amber. It just puts me to sleep. It's just addictive, guys. This is some addictive stuff, and it lasts an eternity. One of the longest lasting perfumes out there. It uses the highest quality possible materials, and Maitre Parfumeur et Gantier is one of those brands that should be out on the map a little bit more. Wonderful stuff, guys. Incredible. Some brands try to emulate the feeling that Ambre Precieux would give you. None of them came close, maybe just one, which is from the house of Histoire de Parfum, and it's called Ambre 114, which is really beautiful as well. It has a little bit more patchouli, but this one is just more rounded, more beautiful, and I like it a bit more. Now next, this is another one from a house that you probably know. There's nothing written on the sample, but this is none other than Musc Ravageur by the house of Frederic Malle, one of the best niche houses out there that use the best concept possible, meaning that Frederic Malle, who is the owner of the brand, calls up the best perfumers in the world, such as Pierre Bourdon, Nathalie Grossman, just several of the best ones, and they basically are told to use whatever ingredient they want for their formulas, spare no cost. They can do whatever they want, and so that just brings their imagination to a point where they can actually apply all their desires in the perfumes, and you can actually tell. The result with Musc Ravageur is something mesmerizing. One of the most comforting, mysterious, and bold accords in modern perfumery. This is not for everybody. Yet, if you give it a few tries, you will start liking it more and more and more. It's a beautiful, musky, highly vanillic perfume that uses a lovely touch of patchouli. It rounds things up with a beautiful ambery accord. It's just to die for. It's one of those perfumes that basically whenever you go out with it and you're mingling with your friends and girlfriends, etc., they will want to get around your personal space to discover more about it. They will be wondering, what the heck is this smell? It's just that kind of perfume. It's very, very addictive, guys. Very comforting. Honestly, one of the best from the beautiful house of Frederic Malle. Wonderful stuff, guys. So next I picked a perfume that is very particular. This is called 2022 Generation Homme by the house of Stephane Humbert Lucas 777, which is a particular brand that you probably don't know about. It focuses on creating very exclusive oriental perfumes, guys. If you go check out the website, you will find very weird images, very weird videos, and basically those bottles, guys, they're a piece of art by themselves. They will make you want to buy them despite the fact that you have no idea what's in it. The perfumes are so unique, so captivating. They are all very similar in a way that they have a sort of DNA that reminds you of powder. I don't know how to say it. It's basically they're all extremely powdery, very opulent, very Arabian. They will remind you of palaces in hot and humid Saudi Arabia. It's just a mesmerizing house. This is not the only one that I'm planning to add to my collection, but anyways, this is the one I picked right now. It'll basically mix notes of blackcurrant, yuzu, and a very high quality oud. So if you like that idea, this has nothing to do with the typical oud and rose combination. This is a sweet, high quality oud based perfume with fruity tones. It's long lasting, it's totally unique, and it's really fantastic, guys. A treat. Man, it's just smooth. It's super silky smooth, guys. Wonderful. Oud has never been as clean as this. A house to check out. Stephane Humbert Lucas 777. Now, what's next? Okay, this one is a bit particular. It's completely different from what we've been talking about so far. This is a floral perfume that deserves high praise. It's called Le Cri, which means the scream in French, from the house of Parfum d'Empire, which is a brand owned by Marc-Antoine Corticchiato, who is a genius of modern perfumery, guys. He made so many amazing scents, and most of the perfumes from this house are incredible, but this one is so unique, guys. It's an incredibly high quality perfume that mixes floral notes such as rose and iris that are basically battling between each other, and then will transition into a beautiful woody aldehydic accord. It's one of those perfumes that if you want attentions from the ladies, then give this one a try. You will get only but compliments with this one, even though I don't give a damn about compliments. You are bound to get some with this one because it is so unique, and probably if you're not into florals, you're gonna hate this. If you love florals, you're gonna love this. But bear in mind, guys, if you want to stand out from the typical lad that wears Acqua di Gio and all those perfumes, then try something different. Try something a bit more feminine. It will bring out that sexiness and boldness that every one of us have inside. This is a wonderful experience, guys. Le Cri by Le Parfum d'Empire. Superb. Now, perfume number 10 is a perfume that I've been talking about already. This is none other than Ciel de Gaume by the house of Francis Kurkdjian. The best perfume from the whole house, I believe one of the top 3 at least. This is the most unique amber-based perfume out there. It mixes jasmine with amber with pepper, and it is a very vanillic amber that has a weird accord, very reminiscent of like petrochemical plastic toys. It's unfortunately my sample is gone, but it is just so addictive, so damn addictive, guys. I will soon get a bottle of this. I've been saying this for a while. I've been postponing this purchase for a long time, but it is, man, it's hard to put into words what this does to me. It just brings me to a day when I was a kid playing with my toys and just going through books like dust. Like, really hard to put into words. So guys, give this one a try. It's unique. It's much better than the typical what's the other amber from the brand, Ambre Grand Soir. It's completely different from Grand Soir. This is like Grand Soir taken to the excess. It's out of this world. Now, perfume number 11, this is kind of a bonus. I only wanted to do 10, but I kept this one on the side. Now, you must know that I don't really like aquatic scents. I used to wear them when I was in high school, of course, we all did. But nowadays, they don't inspire me that much. I'm more into more special stuff. But nevertheless, I feel drawn to this. This one is called London Oud by the house of Fragrance du Bois. Fragrance du Bois is one of those very high-end luxury perfume brands. I own a couple of perfumes. Their crowning jewel is named Sahara Oud, but this one is something that really it got me in a way that it got me more curious and curious. Every time I put this, my girlfriend loves it for some reason. She really digs this thing. It's a minty, aquatic, slightly citrusy, very rich and deep perfume, despite the color being very light, which is something that I don't really like in perfumes. I like it when they're ambery and deep and not as transparent. But this one, despite the color, it lasts an eternity. It has depth. It has a lot of complexity. Every time I wear it, I get more of the structure. I understand it more, and I'm really looking forward to owning this one day. As usual, whenever my finance allow it. So that's how it is. Now, yeah, we've gone through 11 of these guys. I could have done a lot more, as you can see, but I don't want this video to last a couple of hours. Could have easily gone a long way. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you took some inspiration. I suggest you try all of these. I will be talking about others that I will be purchasing in the future, of course. And take it easy. Have a good night or good morning, whatever the case might be. Ciao.